Indian chief minister, specifically Yogi Adityanath, says secularism is the biggest threat to India's tradition. On March 6th, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, said secularism is the biggest obstacle for Indian tradition getting recognition on the global stage. He warned that the misguided people who were betraying the country for their own profit would not be spared. He advised that people not get involved in communal disputes, as that might cause damage to the harmonious spirit of Hindustan, meaning India. The chief minister's speech took place during the launch of the first edition of the Global Encyclopedia of the Ramayana, one of the two major Sanskrit epics, the other being the Mahabharata. Adityanath mentioned that the stories of the Ramayana and the Mahabharata give us the best life lessons and provide knowledge about the expansion of Indian boundaries. The chief minister is known to denounce anyone questioning the Hindu culture. During his visit to Cambodia, he narrated a story of a Buddhist guide found in the Angkor Wat temple and stated that he is confident enough to admit that Buddhism has originated from Hinduism. He also considers the existence of Ram in Ayodhya a historical fact and heavily criticizes anyone denying or questioning these ancient stories.
Secularism began. Okay, so here's the thing: which, like Qasim is asking, which Indian tradition is being threatened by secularism?
You have a point. Like, a lot of it is just, about like Hindu identity. So like,
okay.
it's just anti-secular in general.
What do people think secularism means when they say stuff like this? I mean, doesn't secularism provide you with the freedom to practice your religion as long as, I mean,
it's like, when
go on.
People are saying like, oh, this is infringing on my religious freedom, but it's just like preventing their ability for dominance. I think it's that kind of a thing.
Okay, secularism does the opposite. Secularism provides you the right and the freedom to practice your religion as long as it's not harming anybody else. This is actually something, you know what? I don't usually do this. I have to say, Hinduism, unlike Islam, does not contradict secularism. I mean, unless there's anything in Hinduism that teaches you that you could rule on people based on Hinduism. I mean, I studied Hinduism a little bit. I took a course on it and everything. I don't remember that. Actually, maybe the caste system is this enforced by the government? Like, there's nothing in the scripture that says, okay, I don't know, maybe somebody correct me in the live chat. Is there anything within any of the Vedas or the Puranas or whatever that says the government can enforce any of these traditions? Okay, because I didn't notice any of it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Hey guys, before we get back to that video, YouTube has fully demonetized our channel for supposedly hateful and harmful conduct, without telling us what we did wrong. If we get to 1,000 patrons, we will be able to keep paying all our team, our editors, our artists, without ever having to worry about monetization again, which would be amazing. Yay! So please support Atheist Republic on Patreon. Link in the description below.
Okay, but I think like a lot of these, I would like to ask this idiot if he understands what secularism means, because a lot of people think that secularism means government forcing you to be non-religious. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of people's understanding of secularism is like, no, that secularism means the government just doesn't enforce religion. The government lets you personally do whatever you want with religion, but the government itself is not enforcing any religion, and it's also protecting your right to practice whatever nonsense you want. So if anything, I mean, these are the same people, by the way, who would like. Oh, here's the thing. Here's an interesting thing. Okay, these are the same people who would like to take back Pakistan and make it a bigger, and Bangladesh and all of that, make it a bigger India. Okay, and if they ever get their dream come true, then at that point, their entire country would become a lot more Muslim than they themselves are comfortable with. And at that point, they're going to need secularism to defend their Hinduism, right? I don't understand. Oh, yeah, Katie is
Well,
here.
I mean, you do think that
I do agree.
India should retake Pakistan. You have said that before.
I do, but I also think that will destroy Hindutva and Islamic forces because of they will have no choice but to accept secularism at that point for their own survival, right? Because there's too many Hindus and Muslims mixing. But what is this, Katie?
Katie has a really good comment that I think answers your earlier question. He likely means the Indian version of secularism, not real secularism. It's based on Gandhi's secularism that is promoting all religions equally instead of separation of religion and state.
Oh, like the government actually getting involved with promoting all religions equally. Yeah, no, that's not good. Rivka keeps Rivka. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a couple comments. One, I think that your point about secularism is very well taken, because secularism actually is the best protection that religious people have if they want to be able to practice their religion, because your religion might be in power today, but it might not be in power tomorrow. So making it everyone can practice their religion as long as they're not harming other people. And I think that this version of thinking that secularism is a threat is very similar to me the way a lot of American evangelicals are so concerned about secularism as somehow going to stop them from being able to, practice their religion or talk about being a Christian or, say Merry Christmas to someone on the street. Very similar. It's this idea that somehow the secularism is going to force them to stop being Christian or stop being Hindu. And so it seems very similar in how this guy's portraying it to me in some ways. And that somehow the religiosity and the government and the system of government is somehow linked in his mind. That it can't be India without this Hinduism. And you can't, they're one and the same. And then the last thing I wanted to say about this yogi is that he's not really practicing his yamas and niyamas, which are the 8 limbs of yoga. And a lot of them are, nonviolence in thought, truthfulness, right action, treating other people well, contentment. So, get on those yamas and niyamas, buddy.
Yeah, he's also one of the most infamous anti-Muslim bigots in Uttar Pradesh. He's the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh, to give you guys some background. He has some of the most high fever-pitched rhetoric I've ever heard,
which
is
crazy. He's not doing his non-harming, non-violence in thought or deed. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Be best, you guys.
So Katie's saying, yeah, actually, this is with Krishna when Krishna was telling that guy, what is his name? Guruji?
Arjuna.
Yeah. Arjuna. Gita. So yeah, Katie was saying Gita promotes going to war against irreligious people for protecting Dharma. So technically, non-Hindus can be said to be a threat to the Dharma of a kingdom. Yes, technically. I mean, both Christianity and Hinduism have verses in their scripture where you could be like, yeah, this could be used by a king or a ruler to do some really nasty stuff, right? But both Christianity and Hinduism, you have to they're few and far in between where you could find threats to secularism in their scripture. But it's Judaism and Islam where they both have a lot of instructions for, mostly Islam, by the way, rulers and how to do politics properly. Yeah, so those are the greatest threats to secularism. I mean, I don't want to dismiss how bad Hinduism and Christianity is, but when it comes to threats to secularism, you can't do as Islam takes the cake.
And Judaism and Islam are so much more similar than Christianity and Islam, or Christianity and Judaism.
Yes, exactly. Because they're more about what you need. Like, there's so many rituals and practices and how to do things properly in practice. Yeah, exactly.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of blasphemy and sexy Kali, like me, then that means that you probably want more blasphemous art. Well, I have good news for you. If you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below, then you get a free booklet of some of the tastiest blasphemous art available today. So, if you want some of this delicious blasphemy, and we're so generous that we update it for you guys weekly for free, all you have to do is sign up for our newsletter below. You can also go to blasphemousart.com/ebook. That's blasphemousart.com/ebook. Sign up with your email, and you get free gifts of this tasty blasphemy. What could be better? So make sure you sign up. Link below.